Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. My name is Aidan Finnegan, and I'm the founder of Rainmaker Solutions. For 2 years, I was the exhausted solo detailer that this platform now serves. Today, I'm asking $100,000 to turn my working prototype into the first vertical SaaS that scales one-man solo detailers into a full real business. In the next 15 minutes, you're going to learn about the problem, the market tailwind, our solution, the revenue model, and exactly how your capital compounds. So let's begin. Let's ground the pain. 76% of detailers operate solo. Without time to follow up with their clients, client retention slides below 30%. Only 13% of detailers use CRMs, and just 9% of detailers post content, despite 88% of buyers trusting video. 63% of detailers say that their number one stressor is unpredictable income. Well, Rainmaker flips that on its head. We bundle AI and automation into one comprehensive growth stack that takes detailers from solo operators to real businesses. Think about it like a full marketing, sales, and operations department bundled into one product, giving detailers unprecedented leverage without a high headcount. So we're able to do this through 4 plug-and-play packages: the advertising and lead generation package, media and brand management, lead and customer management, as well as the internal SOP management package. So let's begin. The advertising and lead generation package contains 2 AI-augmented Meta and Google ad campaigns. Intelligence technology today is able to allow for deep customer personalization at scale. More specifically, these ad campaigns are able to auto-qualify leads and deliver hyper-personalized lead magnets that multiply incoming prospects at a fraction of the cost. What does this mean for detailers? Quality, consistent, qualified leads every single week and 0 time wasted on tire kickers who we're not going to buy in the first place. So, with all of these incoming prospects, we need to have a system to actually manage them. And that's where our lead and customer management package comes in. AI is able to take the known data from these customers and send personalized SMS, emails, and even voice calls to these customers. They're able to address these customers at any stage in the pipeline, upsell premium services that make sense within the customer's purchasing history, and prompt rebooking for the clients. What does this mean for the detailers? Increase in booking conversions, as well as an increase in customer lifetime value without any lift of their finger, or except for setting the system up. Next is the media and brand management package. I built this package specifically to elevate and seamlessly scale a detailer's presence online. So detailers will upload raw detailing footage of them cleaning cars into our system. It'll be run through a fine-tuned LLM model that will edit, caption, and generate multiple short or long-form videos, which are then added to an auto social media poster, which will deploy among every single social media. What are the results? Seamless, effortless brand growth without busy work, increased brand authority for detailers, and professional content with 0 editing stress and no need for media team hire. And lastly, we have the internal SOP management package. This is all about helping detailers with the day-to-day fires that it is for running a detailing business. So it's going to contain AI-powered training and onboarding, so new employees will be able to have their answers questioned based on unique company guidelines. Real-time SOP updates, so if a company updates their internal procedures, it will be able to update instantly. Intelligent inventory and cost tracking, as well as repurchasing normal supplies, and then built-in AI fraud detection. And this will allow detailers to sleep easier at night, knowing that they have a 24/7 manager helping them manage their detailing business. So we're not just building super helpful software tools for detailers. We've timed it perfectly. We're riding the tailwind of 3 exploding markets, and we're positioned to capture the upside of all of them. So, first of all, the car detailing market is positioned to hit $69.2 billion by 2030, growing at a 5.9 compounding annual growth rate, driven primarily because of increased car ownership and increase in mobile convenience demand post-COVID. Next, the CRM as a software service is projected to reach $73.4 billion by 2030, growing at a 14.6% CAGR. Most detailers are still using pen and paper or primitive Google Sheets. And finally, the behemoth, AI as a service, is going to reach $120+ billion by 2030, growing at a 36.1% compounded annual growth rate. Every single industry is adopting AI. So, solo detailers represent a $600 million opportunity. There are thousands of them, and there is not one software or service that combines media, customer management, internal management, and growth, all for detailers in one comprehensive, frictionless package. So on that note, let's talk about competitors in the field. So as you can see, a green check mark means the feature is covered, a yellow means it's partially supported, and X means it's not supported. It was very hard to find some real competitors because of how niche my business is, but nonetheless, I did. Detail Bookie and Mobile Tech RX are really good for detailing scheduling tools, but they lack any intelligent AI automations. Orbis X is my closest competitor with its features. It is a custom CRM built from the ground up and has AI features, but it lacks any media and brand tools. So I'll be keeping my eye on them. Next, we have our indirect competitors. These are more generalized HVAC, blue-collar CRM scheduling businesses. So Jobber, House Call Pro, and ShopMonkey are great for just generalized booking services for customers, but they lack any of that fundamental problem solving that solo detailers need. And then you go one level up and you have your CRM behemoths like Go High Level and HubSpot. They are great tools, but they have so much friction to set up, and most detailers will not even bother to try and learn or decode them. So let's talk about how we make money. So Rainmaker is going to start with one-time off-the-shelf productized versions of our original packages. They're going to be simplified, easy for detailers to install themselves, and we're going to sell them between $500 and $900. Next, over the more mature lifetime of Rainmaker, we're going to transition into a normal monthly recurring revenue SaaS model that will bundle the entire ecosystem into one platform. So here's a better look at these. So the one-time productized packages are only for getting the engine started. We're going to use them. We're going to sell the brand and media and the advertising package as out-of-the-box templates for detailers to set up. They're going to give us fast cash to build the full ecosystem. They're going to help us develop case studies for later advertising. And it's also going to help us have a pool of beta users that we can then later sell into the full ecosystem of Rainmaker. And over here is the full mature Rainmaker ecosystem. So we're going to have the starter package at $299 a month, which will bundle the ads, the media, the leads, and the ops dashboard all into one. And then we're going to give them the growth tier starting at $997 a month. That has two functionalities. One, it gives solo detailers a good view on where they can go to. Think multiple detailing vans, more complex operations, but also serves as a really good price anchor for selling those solo detailers into the first starter tier. And now that you guys understand how Rainmaker makes money, let's talk about the go-to-market strategy. So in phase one, we're going to advertise to solo detailers or 1 to 3 employees. They got to be mobile. They have to have a website, and they have to be in business for 2+ years, making $1,000 to $5,000 a month. We're going to offer them a super simple offer, state-of-the-art ad campaigns that you only pay for once they start making you clients. We're going to then turn those into customers, like I said before, to refine our advertising package, stress test that system, and then develop case studies for later offerings. Phase 2 is very much like phase 1, except we're going to repeat that process with different productized versions of the packages. Right now, it's going to be the media and brand package. So we're going to take those existing customers and try to upsell them into the media and brand package. They're going to give us good feedback on what we can improve. And they're also just going to continue to grow that pool of beta users. And then finally, when the retention kicks in, once the full Rainmaker ecosystem will be completed, we are going to try to go to those existing customers and downsell them into the actual full Rainmaker ecosystem. They're going to be spending a lot less than they did with the productized packages, and they're going to get a lot more. It's going to be a lot more easy for them to use, and they're going to have ongoing support from our team. So how does it actually work? So right now, the initial build of Rainmaker is very lightweight, versatile, and fast. We just daisy chain multiple proven services together to, like I said, act fast and validate demand. We use N8N for our automation orchestration, Go High Level for our dedicated CRM, Vappy for AI voice calling, Supabase for our data layer, DigitalOcean for hosting, and ChatGPT, soon to be Gemini, because they're a lot better than Chat, for our open source model for the media package. Here is a quick look at one of the packages that is live right now running in one of my detailing businesses. So we have a screenshot of Vappy, which answers my detailing calls. We have my N8N SMS agent that sends personalized lead forms, and I'll talk about that in a second. And then here's a full 30-day automated lead nurturing sequence that will nurture interested clients into booking with whatever detailing company. So here's a quick case study. I'm the founder of Refresh Mobile Detailing, which is a car detailing company that I'm still running today. Over the past 2 months, I spent $1,000 on Meta ads. At first, I was just advertising a standalone $300 special package. I was getting leads at between $7 and $8, which was really good. But then I added in an AI optimized campaign, which customers would answer five quick questions on Instagram, and they would instantly be emailed a personalized car care guide set to their car, set to their needs, and how to solve it. That single touch point reduced the lead cost to $1.70. I saw conversions triple. I saw my revenue increase 235% with no added staff or ad spend. So let's talk about the team. You're looking at him. So I'm Aidan. I'm the founder of Refresh Mobile Detailing. I scaled my detailing business from $0 to $10,000 plus a month solo, thanks to some of these things that I've built. I'm a skilled marketer because of my detailing business. Most importantly, I'm a very skilled detailer. I can send you guys my Google links. I promise I know what I'm doing. And then I've also become really good at automating CRMs and also automating with AI agents. I've become a novice programmer just because I got to be scrappy right now because I'm solo and I have to learn and build. But the elephant in the room, that is my biggest weakness right now, is I am solo. It's not sustainable for long-term growth, so I'm attacking it head on. And on May 6th, I'm going to Spokane to meet with some investors and entrepreneurial matchmakers. They're going to see if they can help me with my business. I'm also currently looking for a CTO. I have in the next 2 weeks, I have 2 interviews lined up with potential CTOs. In long term, we want to hire 2 intermediate software developers to help look over the system. And for the beginning phases, we're just going to outsource our finance and legal. So let's talk about our timeline. So just a couple of important things. So in month 1 to 2, we're going to finalize the media and advertising productized packages. By month 3, we actually want to start selling those. So we want to get 5 paid customers, $5,000 cash. By month 5 and 6, we want to release the very first version of Rainmaker in its full ecosystem. So this is when we'll actually start trying to downsell those customers back into our ecosystem. By month 7 and 8, we're going to launch a more aggressive advertising to get more ecosystem clients, hire a full stack dev, and then by month 12, we want to re-release Rainmaker based on customer feedback and really just ramp up marketing to get 50 plus clients and $25,000 monthly recurring revenue. And by this time, those productized packages should be sunsetted and we should be all set for the monthly recurring revenue. Here's a quick breakdown of the use of funds. So a lot of it's going to go towards developing the product. 20,000 is going to be for early customer acquisition, so advertising campaigns, cloud infrastructure, ops, customer success, legal and admin, and $10,000 for the inevitable spontaneous combustion that happens when building a business. And here we go. Why Rainmaker? So I just said before, we have real proof on some of the packages that worked really well in my own detailing business. I'm very close to the problem. I've lived it for 2.5 years now, and I continue to live it. I'm focusing on solving an entire problem and not just one AI widget. And it's also, we're bringing this revolutionary technology to a super specific niche. And with a fractured competition who don't really know how to serve, we will win. And this is a really important point. Like I said before, right now, AI is really, it's hype. You know, there's a lot of people selling just actual garbage, and they're selling chatbot widgets and stuff that doesn't really solve needs. Rainmaker is not an AI business. We are a detailer's business. We just happen to use AI because it is the best way to get those detailers the results they need. We will continue to iterate and change with the technology as it comes, but working with this technology has been so cool and so alleviating. But yeah, we're going to win because we solve an entire problem using AI. Thank you guys for letting me talk at you for 15 minutes. I'm really happy to hear your questions.
Great job. And it's a cool idea. I'd love to see how you're taking all those tools and putting them together in this way and seems to be solving a real problem, or at least an enhancing situation, right? Can you walk me through, so you said you're going to get to 50 customers by the end of year 1, right? So how many car detailers are there in what regions? What does that look like? And how are you going to get those 50 by the end of year 1?
So in the US alone, there is like 65,000 total car detailing companies, and 76% of that comes out to around 45,000. So many of these car detailers are kind of just hiding. They have very little social media presence because they're just like me. They're people starting out of their cars and they have dreams to make it big, but they don't know how. So really what we're going to do is I'm a part of a lot of detailing forums, and I've seen a lot of beginners start there. So I'll start advertising there. I'll also probably start running ads that basically just focus on, hey, like if you are still detailing in your van or in your Mercury Mariner, I have a system for you, and we want to see you scale. So it's really just trying to find those people that are just in the beginning and offering them the capabilities to scale their own way just by using our platform. Does that answer your question at all?
Yeah, I think so. Since your reach is not going to be geolocation, right? You can get out, so that makes sense. So, what do the financials typically look like for these detailers? Are they going to be able to afford? I know you said it, doing a meta campaign was $1,000 for yourself.
Yeah.
Are you a typical detailer or are you more advanced that you have the cash to be able to do that? Or?
The cash that I have to do this is basically just it's all been from my work. So a typical detail costs $350, and solo detailers like me, you're able to do 2 details a day. It's not that hard to dominate a local market if you actually get your name around. So these detailers, it's very real for them to be making $1,000 to $1,500 a day. When you're solo like this, supply costs are not that much. They cost around $250 to $300 a month if you're really cranking the spray bottles. So a lot of times, like, they don't understand. So I feel like the Rainmaker justifies itself after one detail. A month subscription of Rainmaker, if they do one interior detail, then they're able to pay for that.
Well, I echo what Ryan said. Great job. Very polished presentation.
Thank
like
you.
the fact that you're reading your judges and mentioned a pivot to Gemini. That was pretty slick.
The
The only thing I'd say on that is maybe try and slow it down just a little bit. It's moving pretty fast at a couple of different points. But so if I'm understanding correctly, right now, at least your first version of the product is built on, it's totally off the shelf. You're just using off the shelf tools and putting them together in a kind of new combination. Is that
Pretty
accurate?
much, yeah. So it's mixing all of those things together, and it's all working in my own business. So these packages all work synonymously, which is why when the whole ecosystem rolls out, it's really important that they're not individual packages, but it's in fact just one whole product, because it's very hard to have your advertising and lead generation package without your customer management one, right?
Sure.
So right now, I'd say the one that's actually live is my advertising and my customer management package. All of my leads that are rolling in, I don't ever have to call them. They get booked, they get follow-up, they get nurtured all automatically from AI. And I just basically go and fulfill on it. So, we still haven't done, I have not built the media package or the internal ops yet. But yeah, that's the one that's live.
Do you have plans to build your own custom tools, or are you going to continue to leverage those off-the-shelf things to the extent that you can?
Yeah, I forgot to mention it. So the plan is to basically transition from using these heavy external services to bringing in a real software development team so we can build it from the ground up, like Orbis X. I don't want to be reliant on other software services, and we have such like unique detailed demands. Like how do you make raw footage like perfectly edited for a detailing, right? Like there's not softwares that do that right now. So that's something that's super important that we build ourselves, and it just makes a more integrated user interface for that customer.
All right, one last question on this sort of topic. So once you've built that for the detailing industry, how hard would it be to port that over to something else?
Really not hard. See, I didn't want to bring that up because I want to show that I'm focused. But honestly, like window tinting, PPF ceramic coating, window cleaning, like they all have the same basic fundamentals. All you need to do is tweak some messaging, tweak some marketing, maybe change. So Rainmaker is purposely named to not be super like hyper niche yet, because it really can be like the future of customer management and just basically blue collar scaling.
Great, thanks.
Great job.
Thank you so much.
Sort of 2 questions and a point. Walk me through the pricing model again. I mean, so I'm a detailer. I've got 3 guys that work for me, right? Am I paying the same subscription price as I'm a solar detailer and I'm buying a package from you? I mean, do you have packages on the packages?
No, so the initial ones, like I said, they're the productized versions, but when the actual mature thing rolls in, it's just a $299 blanket fee. Right now I'm in the works of creating that $997 that more complex package, which is basically for detailers who have more than 5 employees. They have to have more than 2 detailing.
Okay, so the higher priced package is
complex operations.
Right, is for more use
If
larger
you have a shop, maybe. So like
Okay.
that's also the hope for. We our kind of wedge is going to be these solo detailers, but even then we can expand to becoming the back end CRM for shop detailers.
Yeah, and whether you have the pricing right or not, that's how you're thinking, which is all cool. Second part of it is, how are you training the platform? I mean, so you're using the off-the-shelf tools, but as you were just saying, I mean, at some point here, you've got content that you basically want to have be customized, et cetera. So how are you training the platform? And then do you own that data, or who owns all that data?
Yeah. So what I've looked at is looking for multimodal LLMs that can understand videos. There is a plethora of detailing videos, or even just take me to work type short form content. I want to be able to train this model on the very generalized versions of these normal video contents. And basically the interface will be the detailer uploads the raw footage. They answer one or two questions like, what's the point of this video? Okay, this is a glass cleaning video. The AI should be able to interpret, okay, maybe we shouldn't focus on, the back 40 minutes of the car and focus when the detailer is actually looking at the windows. Right now, I have a very quick and easy, kind of quick and dirty version built up that's using other services, FM, MPEG, and then also it's called Live Edit. It's just basically a generalized AI editing service for clipping long form content. It's used for social media people who want to grow their
So you're going to have to you're just going to continually have to look for the content going forward. Only other point is, I think you should ask for more than 100K.
I got that in the last round too. I think that is I'm very, I'm naive when it comes to software because, like I said, I'm very novice at it.
We're used to people asking for too much. Ask for more. You may not get it, but ask for more. You could probably use it.
I think on that point, it's very interesting. Like, I am very interested to see how these AIs are going to change up this whole investment starter funder world, because these teams are going to be able to get a lot more done with a lot less. Not saying I probably should ask for more, but I am curious how lean we can build Rainmaker leveraging this new
I'm
AI.
not saying ask for $1 million, but you could ask for 250.
900,000, please.
Yeah, I would echo what the other judges said. Really great presentation. Primitive Google Sheets killing me a little bit, but that's okay. I would love to, the stats that you showed around the adoption of tech for your target audience isn't surprising. Mm-hmm. And I think when we're looking at that, there's likely a reason for it, right? Because these individuals aren't digital natives by nature. I think what I did see missing in your presentation is likely the amount of education required in order to get these individuals up to speed on what you're selling them, right? And I would love to see something moving forward, and I guess it's more of a recommendation than a question, or even would love to know how you're thinking about it, is it almost feels like you need maybe like an internship sales team to be able to go out, scale your product, and really give the education needed in order to sell your product into these detailers.
I speak their language. I am one of them. I will be transitioning to that marketing and sales role. So a lot of, I guess, my plan is really nuanced in my own head. I know how to transition. I know how to speak their language, because they don't care about what model is. They care about getting detailers booked, and they care about not having Deborah, who has a smoke stained, vomit filled car, that they have to go clean. So I think that's a really good point, and I probably could have echoed better in my presentation, but that is my plan, to take over that role, because I have met with many detailers. I know their pains, and I know how to basically sell this to them, to where to sell all the best parts, sell the dream vacation without getting caught up on the flight, Yeah.
And I think my continued recommendation to you is to figure out how to scale yourself, right, through other individuals, because that's going to ultimately cap your ability to scale the business, because you're going to need more individuals like yourself to hit the ground. So thinking about that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.